The moon and the rain and the stars, ooh, the night ain't always over. The night ain't.
Hi, I'm a former Wallaby captain.
Professor of Intensive Care at the University of New South Wales.
I'm an Australian lawn bowler and I'm also a geriatric nurse.
I am a comedian. I'm also the patron of Palliative Care Nurses Australia, and I'm just loving this set.
I'm a passionate foodie and I love my mum.
As dinner conversations go, no one wants to talk about dying.
Talking about dying is something that every culture in Australia has different approaches in different manners.
No one wants to talk about death and dying because no one wants to think about their loved ones dying or suffering.
I hate the thought of talking about palliative care. I'd rather face the All Blacks, all 15 of them, any day by myself.
I think people don't talk so much about death and dying in the same way that they don't talk about aging.
Holidays, yes. Reality TV, oh yeah. Food allergies, menopause, but death and dying, no way. La 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 la.
But we actually need to talk about it so that in the end we can actually help them and they won't suffer.
Certainly from an Indigenous perspective, I've been brought up not to talk about death, not to talk about the passing.
Food was obviously big in my home. I mean, come on, that's all we used to do, as well as hang out with the family. If we weren't shopping for it, preparing it, cooking it, we were eating it. And in fact, talking about end-of-life care was definitely a no-no. It was completely off the table.
The fear of death and dying, I guess, could explain why we don't talk about it so much. But it's quite obvious that the more that we do talk about it, the more that we accept it as natural and normal, then the less fear that there'll be.
I talk about end of life, again, with my wife, with my son, with my daughter, and they don't like talking about it, but it's a fact of life. You can't live forever.
If I don't talk about it, maybe I won't die.
National Palliative Care Week is a great time to start talking to each other about your own wishes. So you've got control over your life and you've got control about the way you die.
Well, I'd like my death to be like my life. Some quiet time, some noisy time.
I want to be surrounded by my loved ones because we've always been a tight-knit, close family.
Taking me back to where it all began, where I grew up.
This is extremely important.
It's taken us many a family gathering, over many a family meal, but at least now Mum and I have had the conversation about her end-of-life care and what really matters to her. In addition to wanting to live with me and me wanting her to live with me forever, as we do in our culture, I now know exactly what she wants, and I love that.
Look, I hate to break it to you, but we're all going to die. So we might as well talk about it. After all, isn't a conversation easier when we all have something in common?
So this National Palliative Care Week, speak to your loved ones
About what matters most to you for your end-of-life care.
It's really important to have the conversation.
Resources like this conversation guide
Will help you get started.
For more information,
Visit the website or get your kids to visit the website. Mum, for more information, visit the website.